So this is day number 4 of the tour, and just to kind of wrap up the previous few days, which were just mostly trying to get to Ireland. Sebastian and I met up in Rotterdam to take the ferry across from Rotterdam to Hull in England. That's an overnight ferry, so you get there the next morning, and if you really want to speed it up, you can actually make it on the same day to another ferry that will take you to Dublin. So you can get to Dublin on day number 2, at the end of day number 2. We didn't do that. We went to Wales and took a little detour after we left the ferry in Hull and just kind of enjoyed the Snowdonian National Park, which is quite nice. Then we stayed the night in close to Holyhead, which is the ferry port that will take you to Dublin. It's a 3-hour ferry ride. It's a large ferry that will then take you to Dublin. We skipped Dublin entirely. This is not the kind of trip to do sightseeing in the city. It's worth visiting, of course, but we made sure we got out of that place as quickly as possible, and then went to the Wiccolo mountain range, which is really close to Dublin. So that gave us a glimpse of what we are likely to see in the next few days traveling Ireland and Scotland, and yeah, a few clips of that. So after we saw the Wiccolo Mountains, there was a good section of just straight roads to get us to our location of last night, which was kind of off the beaten path a little bit. And we had an early night, slept a long time because we're still tired from the journey of getting here. So this is a full day today of just traveling smaller roads, and we'll be entering the Wild Atlantic Highway, which is going to take us clockwise around the island of Ireland all the way to Northern Ireland. And so we're going to do the first section of that. We'll be getting to the coastline today, and then just kind of making our way up clockwise around the island. The weather forecast is a bit mixed. Hopefully it's going to stay like this here today. The sun's kind of peeking out a little bit. Yesterday we had a lot of rain, so our clothes were still damp this morning. But overall, there is a good amount of rain in the forecast, so that's kind of to be expected when you come here, despite the fact that we have early August right now. So guys, this is where we are right now. This is Cork, where we're putting up points to, and so we're just about northeast of Cork, and we're going to make our way to Cork now. And there should be a nice castle, Blarney Castle, I think. So the weather stays like this, we finally get to see one in the dry. Yesterday we passed one and it was pouring rain, so we didn't really have a look at it. And then after that, we'll make our way down to the coast, the southern coast, and sort of meet the Wild Atlantic Highway, which technically starts further up, I think, with Watford is somewhere here, but that part of the stretch didn't look very exciting, so we're going to enter it just south of Cork. We have sunshine! So it's the first sunshine we see in Ireland, like this at least. Blue sky, sunshine. You can see the roads are still wet, as it was raining here everywhere. That's really cool. The tree line, I mean, it goes all the way to the road, and you've got this like almost tunnel cut in here from all the vehicles. So with the first 100 kilometers on the clock, We're hitting our first sort of site, which is the Blarney Castle and Gardens. Off to see our first site, the Blarney Castle. Buy tickets to get in. You can see it from here. But let's get this done before it starts raining again. And we got a nice ice cream cone too. Was eng jetzt, Engholm. Das bescheuert ist, ey. Und ich da jetzt hinkissen diesen blöden Stein. Das geht morgen gar nicht. So, we're really close to the ocean. And this is the weather we're in. Just like low-hanging clouds with, yeah, some visibility, but it's really foggy. You can't really see very far. So we're not going to be able to see much once we actually make it to the coastline, I think. But it does look kind of cool. It's got a certain mood to it when it's so foggy. Just won't be able to see much of the coast, I suppose. But we'll see. We'll be there in a few kilometers. So this is our first site here, where you can see you can't see anything at the moment. It's say again? Okay. Okay. Golfspieler nur. Nur Golfspieler. Ah. Aber man sieht eh nichts. Aber man sieht eh nichts. Ist alles komplett. Man sieht gar nichts.
Ja, super.
Geil, oder?
Ja, mega.
Pick the best weather.
Is there a training course today?
Yes, they're playing today.
Sollen wir?
Was denn?
Golfen?
Maybe next time, huh? Man sieht's nur nicht, ne? Oh ja, hier, guck mal. Oh, wow. Wow. Wow, krass, Alter. Yo. We're going alongside the coastline, which is quite impressive. To stand there and just look down, and the visibility is pretty low right now. It's a bit of a shame, but I guess you have to expect that when you come to Ireland, that the weather is going to be like this a better part of the time. But we'll have a few more days here, so there's going to be a few days where it's hopefully not like this. We'll continue our journey on. It's got another 190 to go. At that pace, it's going to take us a while. So estimated time on arrival is 5:30 again. So these are long days that we're riding. We started out with 350 kilometers to go, and we still have a good part of it to go, but it's really hard to see it. Put the visor up. That's better. So we're back on really small roads, single tracks. You've got even like green patches in the middle here. You don't want to get on those because I'm sure they're very slippery. So we barely had any dry road conditions. It's been continuously raining or drizzling for the entire day so far. Check it out. So there's some water, finally. So visibility has improved a tiny bit. Then we can finally see something.
Ja, den Weg gibt's nicht mehr, gell?
Nee. Wir können auch geradeaus fahren und dann links, geht auch.
Ja, wurscht.
Ist wurscht, oder? Geradeaus links oder hier links? Hier links, oder? Gucken wir mal. We're pretty wet now, both of us. Even me with my Gore-Tex, it's just water's seeping in, the gloves are wet now. So we've got another hour to get back to the hotel, so we're skipping a couple of points, which we would have done at nicer weather, but now...
Das ist ja echt total cool. Das ist ja richtig gut hier. Zwischen Chips, wie es gehört.
Another day. We're in a small town on the Wild Atlantic Highway, I think it's called. Bit of a late start today. 330 kilometers to go today. And since we were riding in the rain yesterday for most of the time, all my stuff is still wet. The place didn't have a hairdryer. Sometimes that's a good way to just, you know, get the remaining moisture out of your clothes. So my gloves are wet. The jacket is still pretty damp. The only thing that's dry is my boots, because I've got these like boot dryers in there that help. I try to use them on the gloves, that doesn't really work. Yeah, so I hope this is gonna stay dry for a little longer today, maybe then closer. And the helmet is wet too, which is kind of disgusting getting new wet helmets. So it'll be along the coastline today. We'll be seeing a lot of water, hopefully, if the weather conditions are like this. It's so nice to actually see this in the sunlight after we had such a rainy day yesterday. So now we're in the last few kilometers on one of those sort of half islands, fingers that are poking out into the sea. Whoa! There's definitely gravel on the road. I just hit a patch of gravel.
Should let go.
So we just are returning from our first site and viewpoint, and it's quite nice on the way back too. So the weather's still stable for now, no rain. It's quite windy though, and we've got a couple more like that coming up. We're kind of slow today. I mean, we just got about 30 kilometers, 10% of the route, and it's 11 o'clock now. That doesn't matter. If it gets tight in the end, we can cut the route short. It's not a problem. But some other Germans. I haven't really seen many bikers here yet. I thought I would see a lot more. And it's just a handful of motorbikes that we saw, and they were around the Dublin area and they were local to Dublin, but haven't really seen a lot of travelers. That's surprising, but maybe they just stayed in because it was raining yesterday. Maybe we see a few more today. So this road has been going on for quite some time, offering this spectacular view. It's also not very busy. There's the occasional car and cyclist. We are on the Ring of Beara, and it's got orange, yellowish arrow, and so we're gonna make all the way down to the end of the tip and then come back up again. And it's definitely a lot faster riding than some of the roads that we did yesterday, which were much smaller roads where you know, also there's less traffic, there's more places to pass, which is great. Because on those smaller back roads, it's really hard to see, and there are just short sections of sort of straight sections where you can finally pass vehicles. So that really slows down your travel. This seems to be a relatively fast road, and that's a nice change of pace. So we're still on the Ring of Beara, and the scenery is starting to get a bit more interesting. It's quite a long trip out here to those rings. The Ring of Kerry is probably the one that's better known. That's on the list for tomorrow. It's the lesser known Ring of Beara. Same idea, it just goes out and goes around in a loop. And yeah, we've been on this for a while. We're very close to the western tip, I think. Getting close at least, so I gotta enjoy this view for a second here. My navigation system shows that we're pretty much at the end of what we can ride on our bike. We made it as far as we could to the Ring of Beara. This is the most western tip, and behind me is an island, and you used to be able to go across with a cable car, which is not in very good shape right now. It's not operational, fixing it at the moment, but yeah, you get a pretty good view of the Atlantic Ocean. It's quite nice here. No? And now we're heading back, and there was a fish and chips place. I want to check that out. Get something to eat. It is 1 o'clock now. Ja, langer Trip. Fish chips. We stopped at the fish and chips place that's behind us, the food truck, and they get 4 different kinds of fish in fresh every day. So I'm quite excited about our food, and we got an awesome view. We're not making any progress today. We're just hanging out, enjoying the view and eating good food. That's what we do. So I suppose the Healy Pass is one of the higher elevations that you can access in this part of the island, at least on the motorized vehicle, at just under 300 meters above sea level, which is high because we started off at sea level. And it's amazing seeing these like overgrown hedges and the trees and the crappy visibility that comes along with it. But the road's good. It's in excellent shape. So I wonder if we're gonna clear the trees here pretty soon and then let's go a mountain road up the pass. Ooh. Wild Atlantic Way. So we're on the right route. The Healy Pass was quite a surprise. You don't really expect a proper mountain pass in Ireland, especially on the downhill side. It was really, really cool. These roads are awesome, just away off the beaten path. Just what you need. we made it to the better part of the day without rain. And now it's starting to rain on the last 90 kilometers we've got left. That sucks. So it looks like the Ring of Kerry has dried up a little bit, the pavement. So we just stopped for coffee. This is like a campground or something. It's quite nice, actually, this little bay here. And it's another 50 kilometers to get to the hotel. And that's going to take us about 40 minutes to get there. It's definitely a very scenic part of the island. The Ring of Kerry. Kurz gucken. Oh, it smells like ocean. I mean, what the f***, people?